In a moment of despair, a young girl finds herself in a golden carriage, far from her childhood home, stripped of her past. She gazes out, lost in the shadows of a foreign land, where her clothes, her jewelry, and even her faithful dog are taken from her. At just 14 years old, she must shed her identity to become someone new, a mere pawn in the games of a foreign court. This is the haunting tale. Our story begins in 1755 in the splendid city of Vienna, the heart of Austria. On a frigid November day, a baby girl emerges in a grand palace, destined to change history. She is the youngest daughter of Empress Maria Theresa, a woman of strength and resolve. Surrounded by music and laughter, the little girl grows up amid her many siblings, each day filled. Among those moments, a notable encounter occurs when a 6-year-old musical prodigy named Mozart graces the palace with his melodies. He slips on the polished floor, and the princess helps him up. Grateful, he promises to marry her one day, a sweet image of childhood innocence. Two renowned youths, unaware of the storm. Yet amid the laughter, the young princess struggles with her studies. Books and lessons bore her, and her teachers' complaints echo through the halls. She wonders why she should toil over learning when her future is already scripted. But the winds of fate begin to shift, ushering in a world where royal unions serve political ends. Austria and France, longtime adversaries, forge a plan. They decide that the Austrian princess shall marry the heir to the French throne. Just 14, she is to wed Louis, a boy of 15 whom she has never met. In the spring of 1770, Marie departs from her homeland, embarking on a lengthy journey toward her new destiny. The road is lined with curious townspeople, eager to catch a glimpse of their future queen. But at the border, a startling ceremony. French officials strip her of her Austrian identity, replacing her clothes with foreign garments. She bids farewell to her beloved servants and friends, leaving behind her cherished dog. Imagine the terror coursing through her veins, a solitary girl thrust into the unknown, with a foreign. As she crosses into France, she takes on a new name. Maria Antonia of Austria becomes Marie Antoinette of France. The wedding that follows is a grand affair, a spectacle of music and feasts that echoes through the streets of Paris. Yet a dark omen looms. A tragedy unfolds as chaos erupts during the celebrations, leaving many hurt. Her new home, the Palace of Versailles, glistens with opulence. Golden walls and expansive gardens create an illusion of paradise. Yet within its confines, life is dictated by rigid rules. Marie finds herself navigating a labyrinth of tradition. Every detail of her mornings is orchestrated before a crowd of. Desiring the warmth of her past, she chafes against the cold formality of court life. Furthermore, her husband Louis is shy and reserved, more interested in crafting locks than the intricacies of marriage. Their relationship, though kind, often feels like a distant friendship, fraught with. As the years pass, the couple still has no children, a source of anxiety for all. The weight of expectation looms heavily as whispers fill the court. Yet time brings growth, and gradually their bond strengthens, leading to the joy of motherhood. In 1774, the death of the old king ushers in a new era. Louis ascends the throne as King Louis XVI, and Marie, now just 18, embraces her role as Queen of France. Initially adored, she basks in the admiration of the people, her beauty. But the young queen, still inexperienced, yearns for enjoyment, indulging in lavish parties and extravagant fashion. She constructs a private retreat within the gardens of Versailles, a sanctuary where she can escape the oppressive rules of the court. To her, this is how a queen ought to live. Outside the palace walls, however, the nation is engulfed in turmoil. France grapples with economic despair, and the cries of the hungry resonate in the streets. While Marie dances in gilded rooms, the stark contrast of suffering unfolds just beyond her reach. As bread prices soar, anger simmers among the populace. The divide between the opulence of Versailles and the plight of the poor becomes more pronounced. The Queen's extravagant lifestyle earns her a scathing nickname, Madame Deficit, a symbol of excess in a nation in. Despite her efforts to change, the Queen's past glories are overshadowed by public perception. As a mother, she cherishes her children and quietly aids those in need, yet the people have already formed their judgments, unable to see a notorious story emerges, claiming that when informed of the people's hunger, she flippantly suggested they eat cake. While popular belief ties this phrase to her, historians debate its authenticity, suggesting it was a fabrication by her foes to tarnish her. As if fortune's wheel turns yet again, a scandal strikes. A group of thieves exploits the Queen's name to pilfer an extravagant diamond necklace. Innocent, Marie becomes ensnared in a narrative of greed and deceit, her reputation spiraling down. The air grows heavy with tension as the cries of the discontented grow louder. In the summer of 1789, the people of France rise in rebellion, their hunger morphing into a demand for justice, poised to uproot the very foundations of monarchy. On July 14, 1789, a throng storms the Bastille, a symbol of royal power. This fierce act sends shockwaves through the kingdom, shattering the fragile peace. The king and queen's safety hangs by a thread, as they become mere figures in a revolution that is just beginning to Marie Antoinette and her family stand at the edge of their golden palace, knowing they will never return. For 2 years, they live in Paris, watched like prisoners. Gone is the carefree spirit of the Queen. She has become a mother, terrified for her children. The threat surrounding them grows more. In June of 1791, under the cloak of night, the royal family attempts a daring escape. Disguised as commoners, they move silently through the shadows, hoping to reach the eastern border where friends await to protect them. But fate intervenes. A familiar face is recognized in the small town of Varennes, and their dreams of freedom are shattered. The family is forcibly returned to Paris. This failed escape obliterates the last remnants of trust among the people. The king and queen are now seen as traitors, and with this, as the revolution spirals into darkness and violence, the tides turn against the monarchy. In 1792, France officially abolishes the monarchy, imprisoning the royal family within a cold, unforgiving tower. January 1793 brings an even grimmer reality as King Louis XVI meets his end beneath the guillotine, executed before a throng of spectators. Marie Antoinette, now a widow, remains behind bars. Her heartache is unimaginable. She hears the echoes of her son on the other side of the walls, yet she cannot comfort him. The sorrow of a mother unable to hold her child is a wound that never heals. Months pass in her damp cell, the once glamorous queen reduced to worn garments. Her hair turns white, though she is. Yet amid despair, Marie Antoinette retains her composure and dignity. In October 1793, she faces a trial, accused of crimes that paint her as a villain. With quiet courage, she stands her ground, answering questions with clarity and strength. Even her enemies are taken aback by her resolve, but the verdict, on October 16, 1793, she is led away to face the same fate as her husband. As she ascends the steps to the guillotine, she accidentally steps on the executioner's foot. Her last words are simple yet gracious. "Pardon me, sir, I did not do it on purpose." In her final moments, she embodies grace, a poignant. Marie Antoinette's story is complex. She was not a flawless woman. Her lavish spending and initial disconnection from the struggles of the poor shadow her legacy. Yet, she was not the ruthless monster her enemies claimed. At just 14, she was thrust into a foreign land, burdened with expectation. Much of the narrative surrounding her is steeped in misunderstanding. Imagine being in a place where you do not speak the language, where every misstep is scrutinized and laughter follows your every mistake. Marie experienced this alienation, yet, and here lies the truth, every new word learned is an act of bravery. Each sentence spoken is a step into a new world. Marie Antoinette took such steps, but you possess something she did not, a choice. You chose this path of learning, of growth, and no one can strip that strength from you. Continue onward, embrace the journey of knowledge, and remember, you are not alone in this